and it's on the tail end of its final testing, and so it's almost done.
So yesterday, a client brought in this all-in-one, and after an update, it started doing something weird for them. He could log in with his PIN number. He'd get to his desktop, and about 10 seconds later, it would log him out, and he'd have to log back in with his PIN number. Basically, he couldn't get anything done all day long. Sounds like the operating system was corrupted as a part of the Windows update. It happens. And yes, the operating system was slightly corrupted from the update. However, that there was probably the reason why. Bad sectors on his hard drive. So we're going to have to replace it. Unfortunately, I didn't have any 2 terabyte hard drives or SSDs, and checking around the neighborhood, none of my normal retail places had any 2 terabyte SSDs either. So called up the client and said, I need to put a new hard drive in your computer if it's okay. And I'm going to do a 1 terabyte because you're only using 10%. So it'll be fine. So in these rare instances where you're going from a bigger drive to a smaller drive, the first thing you got to do is shrink the existing partitions. So let's shrink these down. Now it'll fit on a 1 terabyte. And from here, you do the cloning sector by sector from the 2 terabyte to the 1 terabyte. Sector by sector copies almost always work, and in this case it did, as you've seen in the opening screen. Now, anytime I clone a hard drive, the first thing I do once putting the hard drive back in is boot it from a flash drive and check the boot configuration files, make sure they're all pointing in the right direction, and if all looks good, or once repairs are made, then I boot it up. And as you see, it is working, and it is a whole hell of a lot faster too. And since cloning it, it has never kicked me out of the computer to log back in again, other than when I intentionally do it. And I'm sure the client will be real happy, especially since he's getting it back a day early.